Hey YouTube. Alright, today's Sunday, the 6th, I believe. And today I'm working on the 06 a little bit. So I want to try to get the exhaust connected. So what I'm going to end up doing is I did a little bit of welding today. Don't judge me to weld your shit, but I mean, it's like my second time ever welding. And this is also wire welding on stainless. So, yeah, it's not the best, but it's holding. So hopefully it'll hold up pretty good. I'm also going to wrap it with the heat wrap. And so this was my second set of headers that I had bought, that I had on the 06 whenever I supercharged it the first time, but I could never get the crossover to fit. And then I blew out the flex pipe on the 07. So I had this flex pipe and V-band cut off and welded onto the other header because it had this spot was expanded like it's supposed to be. And this one wasn't, and that was my whole issue with this set of headers. So now I've got this nice little welder, so it's not ideal for welding stainless, but I watched a few videos and it can be done. So I'm just kind of giving it my best, all I can, and just kind of getting used to this welder. So what I've done so far was I took the blown out flex pipe and I cut the V-band off of it with the grinder. And I kind of marked it up to on here, and I got this little Sharpie line to that Sharpie line, and so that's kind of where it fits the best with the smallest gaps. So I know it's still going to be kind of a pain in the ass, but so I'm going to weld that on there, and then once I get this V-band welded on, then I've got this brand new V-band, and I have the other one. It's in that other downpipe over there, which it's not even, I'm not even using that downpipe for this. That's for the Grand Dam. But so I've got both the pieces. So one side's going to get welded here. I've got to cut that side down to that weld there, and then one's going to go on the other side. So then that way, whenever I use this flex, in case I ever blow it out again, it'll be V-banded here, and then if I ever blow out this flex, I can just undo the V-band, get another flex. They're like 13 bucks on eBay, and just weld the V-bands on. It'll be easy. And they even sell these with the V-bands already welded on both sides. They're like 30 or 35 bucks, something like that. And so if I bought those, then I wouldn't even have to weld them on. I would just buy a whole new piece. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing today, is just trying to get these headers somewhat usable so I can throw them on the 06 with a full downpipe, since this has no cap on it. I've got nothing, just open downpipe coming back to the resonator. So I'm going to have to unbolt that little U-bend in that exhaust and get that unbolted from the resonator. If I can get that unbolted, then the downpipe will just bolt right up. And then once I get this flange bolted up to the resonator, then all I have to do is just connect the rear header. So I'm going to get back at it. I still got to cut this down off this weld. I'm using this Linux metal blade. Awesome. Works great. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get this other side cut off, and come back to you guys whenever I'm going to start welding shit. Alright you guys, so I got a couple spot welds on it. Not too horrible. Let me turn this off real quick. So, there's the other ones. not too bad. I mean, it's not the greatest, but for being like my second or third time welding, it's not bad. So I did bevel the edges, and I just took my grinder and put a brand new cutting wheel on it, and just like set it down to just let it get it nice and smooth and even all around. I did that for both sides. Then I ground down the inside and the outside and just put a nice bevel on it, because that's what the guys in the video said to do. So I don't know, hopefully this turns out pretty good. So I guess we'll see, and I'll give you guys another update here in a few. Alright, you guys, so it's still kind of hot, but I got the first one welded on. By looking through this way, I still see a couple of little spots. So I'm going to try to go and weld this on the inside as well, and then I'll do the other side. But, I mean, don't get me wrong, the welds may look like shit, but I'm just looking for functionality, not looks. See, I can definitely see. Oh, where'd it go? Right there. There's a couple little pinholes in it there. Like I said, it ain't perfect by any means, but this is still only like my second, maybe third time welding, and I'm still getting used to this thing. But I mean, for under $200, it's a pretty good investment. I mean, this is even welding stainless to mild steel, and that's still, I mean, that's holding pretty good. So with a wire welder, it's not bad. But I'm gonna get back to this. I'm gonna hook up my ground here, just like so, and I'm gonna go along this inside and try to get this inside welded up to help seal it. And then after that, I'll go wire wheel that whole thing, and I might grind down some of these welds a little bit, but pretty much I just want to wire wheel it and go from there. And then I'm going to jump over and do this other side. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright, you guys, so we got the inside welded. If I can get the flashlight turned on. There we go. Yeah. So once again, it's not the best. It's not pretty. But I can't see any holes through it. So that's the main thing. A couple of these don't look too bad. It's like I was starting to get the hang of it, and then I don't know. Maybe I just need to turn the speed up a little bit more. I'm at almost a 6. The guy Garrett that I worked on that Monte Carlo for in the last video, he's a welder. He has one step up from this one, and that's what he used to weld those lower control arms and shit. I mean, it worked pretty good. The welds looked really good. So I know. So now next step, I've got the other one right here. And see, this one has a little beveled edge right there, and it sits into the downpipe, and it kind of locks it in place. So this one's going on next. This is going to be the hardest part, is getting the ground on there and keeping this thing lined up. Because when I did the other side and I tacked it on one side, it kind of made it sit up at an angle. So then I had to flip it over and push down on it to tack the other side down into place. But it worked pretty good. So I guess I'm gonna get this other side tacked into place and start welding the other side. So y'all stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated. Alright, you guys, so now I've got both sides welded inside and out, It's still really hot. I just got done with this side and I can just feel the heat. So I'm still gonna wire wheel it, clean it up some. Like I said, I know it's not pretty, it's not perfect, but I can't find any shops around here that'll do anything off the car. And my buddy at Ground Zero Performance, who I had weld the mufflers and everything on the truck and on the 07 Pre, like everything on the 07 Pre turned out great. But all the welding and shit that the guy he had do on the truck was just shit. And I haven't heard back from him since. He said he was gonna redo the exhaust on the truck, and then never heard from him. So yeah, I'm not going to him because he kind of screwed me over, and so I'm not going to take him any more business. And none of the other shops around here, exhaust shops, any of them will do anything off the car. And even whenever I tried to, like I took this whole header and just wanted him to try to expand that pipe, and all he wanted to do was just make me a coupler. And I'm like, I can buy that. And so nothing, I haven't been able to get anything done with these for months. So, I mean, I bought the welder and it's just been sitting at the storage. So, I mean, now's my time. I wanted to get something done on it. So, this is what I've got done so far. And like I said, it's not perfect, but I mean, they're holding. They're not just falling off, so hopefully this does pretty decent. That should sit on there like so. And then once I get the V-band welded onto the rear header, that V-band will line up here. And it's gonna be sick. So I'm probably gonna, I don't know, I might try to wire wheel that down before I put the V-band on. But definitely, I was going to bolt it onto wire wheel, but I don't know, that will cover up a lot of that, so it's all good. I'm going to let that thing finish cooling down, and once it's all cooled down, I'll hold it up to the light, see if I can see any more light going through. And I mean, I'm pretty happy with that progress so far. And I know these welds look like shit also, and I had to turn the welder speed up a little bit after I did these. Like I said, I'm still getting used to it, but I mean, it's holding together. That's one piece now, so I'm very happy with the progress. So the last thing I got to do is just get this other V-band welded onto the rear. And then once that's welded onto the rear, I can bolt all that together, and then it's just expanding that. Or I might even end up having to get a smaller V-band. I might just weld a V-band to this and weld a V-band to that and just do a V-band. But I don't know, I'm going to start working on this header, so y'all stay tuned. Alright, so I've got this whole thing, insides on both sides and the outside on both sides, wire wheeled. Cleaned it up really nice. It almost looks like I painted it silver, but I didn't. So both sides are welded up, and I've already got that side on with the V-band clamp. Got the other V-band clamp here. So now I've just got to weld this one last flange wherever it went. Where'd my V-band go? Oh, well, I must find the other V-band because I lost it, evidently. Fall back here. Oh, yeah, there it is. So, yeah. Here's my one last V-band. I gotta line up the black line of the black line. And get this one welded on. So, once I get this one welded on, those will sit up nice. And be a complete piece again. So that's my progress so far for a couple hours, and only be my second or third time welding. This is really not bad. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys updated and let you know how this last V-band goes. So y'all stay tuned. Alright, you guys, so I just tacked in this one. Lined up pretty good. It's got a few little spaces, but I'm gonna try to get this thing welded on here as best I can. So I'll show you guys the progress. And once I get this done, everything will bolt together. It'll have a new flex. So then it's just gonna be expanding this or getting another smaller V-band for the crossover and just welding V-bands. If that's what I gotta do, that's what I gotta do. But I won't be able to do that until all this is bolted in the car. So I'm gonna have to get this done first, and then bolt this in, and then I guess try to fit it. I don't even know. But yeah, so I'll keep you guys updated. Y'all stay tuned. Alright, you guys, so I've got the rear one pretty good. I still gotta hit it with the grinder and clean all that splatter and shit up. But overall, I can't see any light coming through using the DeWalt light. The inside looks a little better. Not much, but a little. But like I said, it's on there. It ain't falling off, so works for me. And then I broke the other V-band. The threads right here got stripped out, so I had to take the brand new one I had for the Grand Am downpipe. But that's alright, that way it'll at least keep everything together. It's got the brand new flanges and the brand new V-band. It's the old V-band. I had to tack weld those spots right there because it wanted to twist and come out of the piece. So I just welded it on. And yeah, so now I will be able to connect everything as one piece. Looks pretty good, so now I just got to get that grinded down, and then the only thing I got to worry about is either flaring this piece out or welding those on or getting another V-band, or I got to figure something to connect this to here. And as long as I can do that, then I'll be able to throw this on the 06. So lots of progress today. I'm really digging this $180 Harbor Freight welder, so I'll get better as I go. I know these don't look great at all, but it's holding it on there, so that's all I needed it for. I'm happy with it, so y'all stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated with the progress on this. Alright, y'all, so here it is all together. Sits up nice. And then with the other one, thanks, David. Yeah, with the other one, I mean, it sits just a little offset, which is how they are. I mean, it actually looks pretty good, so I just need to get a clamp for right here, and that might work. That might be it. And then I'll have to figure out something for this section up here, because it's definitely going to leak there. But overall, I'm happy with the progress today, so I guess that's going to be it for now. But y'all stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys updated with more on how this goes. Alright, you guys, so I made some good progress today on these headers. So I guess next thing I'm going to do is I got these metal zip ties on Facebook Marketplace for like 12 bucks. And they came through Amazon Prime, which is weird, but yeah, so I got these. So I'm going to use the last bit of this wrap. I'm going to wrap the downpipe and use metal zip ties to hold it in place on each side. And that's going to be the last thing that I do today. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll let you guys know how this turns out. Alright, y'all, so I used all the rest of the heat wrap, and wrapped what of the downpipe I could before I ran out. I did manage to get all the welds, the 2 welds that I welded, covered. And I've just put 2 metal zip ties on this side and 1 up here. So it's on there. I made a lot of good progress today. And so I'm going to end up taking all this over to the storage. And I have that other engine sitting over to the side that I sold, that red supercharger with the 3/6 pulley on it. And I sold it for 150 bucks to a guy on Facebook Marketplace. And I sold the old original supercharger off of the 97 for 50 bucks plus shipping, and got both of those shipped off. So sold 2 superchargers, like one day and 1 the next day. And yeah, made some extra money and was able to, it helped out a little bit. So, but yeah, I've got that engine sitting over there, and it still has the heads and everything on it. So I'm gonna end up just bolting these on and lining them up, and then test fitting how the crossover pipe's gonna line up, and see if I need to cut it at an angle or cut that one, or what all I need to do to be able to connect that. If I can just, if it'll line right up and I can just use a regular clamp, that'd be awesome. But I think whenever it's in the car, the rear header is more offset to the left, and whenever, oh shit. So yeah, in the car it's supposed to be like this, where the rear header is more towards the driver's side of the car. And whenever I had it all marked up earlier, the rear header was sitting more to the right instead of more to the left. So this is definitely going to have to turn, but I'm not going to know exactly where it needs to be until I get it mocked up in the car, or at least on the engine. And, you know, I can just undo one of the V-bands or whatever and take the whole downpipe off, just so I can bolt this on, bolt the front one on, and be able to line up the crossover on where it needs to, how it needs to line up for this, so I can connect the or the crossover to the rear header. And once I get that figured out, it's game over. It's ready to go on. So I made a shit ton of progress though. So yeah, y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated. Hey guys, well, the 97 decided not to start this morning, so I had to drive the 06. It's misfiring, but it's getting me to work. So just want to give you guys a little update, let you know how my Monday's starting off. So y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated today whenever I get off work. Alright y'all, so like I said earlier, the fucking starter went out on the 97. So went to AutoZone, got a new starter, 150 bucks later. So now this is the one that was in there, and it's just clicking. It's like it was just seized up. Beat the shit out of it. The solenoid, look at that. So I don't know, but this new one, it's like longer and girthier, way beefier starter. So hopefully this one will last a while. So I'm gonna get this thing slapped in here and hook it up and let you know how it goes. Alright y'all, so just got the battery hooked up, starter's hooked up. Let's see if she starts. Hey, she fired up. I made a weird sound. Yep, she fires right up. Very good. All the shit I had to pull out of my trunk. But shit happens, I guess. Yeah, she's running good now. Fires right up. BTS starter. I guess the starter did burn up. Like, it wasn't even that old. Still looks pretty clean. Oh well, shit happens. So, well, probably gonna head over to my storage and test fit that belt and do a couple other little things over there today. So y'all stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated. Hey YouTube. All right, so it's later on in the day. I'm over here at the 07 storage. So I got the headers I was working on yesterday bolted onto this engine. You can see how it lines up. It doesn't at all. So I've got to do something with this to make this stuff fit. But it's getting there. And then also, so my package from ZZP came in. So I got the new belt. And then the donut gaskets and fuel injector clicks. This is the main thing. And then I went ahead and bolted on the power steering pump. And I can put one of the two main belts. Like this is the main belt. Not damn. It says one main belt. I think that's the other main belt. And one of those will fit. So I can get the main belt on. And then get the supercharger belt on. And then I went through some stuff, and I did actually found the starter from the 07. So the starter from the 07 is back here. It's in here. Right there. Bolts and all. Here's starter bolts. So I did have a starter in here. Didn't even have to go buy one, I guess, but at least this way, the 97 has a brand new starter. I still have a starter for this. So I guess whenever it comes time to actually get this engine put in the car, I'll probably steal that brand new one off the 97 and put on this engine and put the one that's in the box back on the 97, because it'll just be temporary anyways. So no worries. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get this main belt on here and then get the supercharger belt on just so I can make sure the belts fit, and I can go from there. So y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright, well that was quick. So got the main belt and the new ZZP supercharger belt on. This is the 685 belt. It's supposed to be for the 3.2 to 3.4 or 3.5 pulley or something like that with the intercooler. I just had to go one size bigger because of the belt wrap, but both belts are on there nice and tight. So now the engine's pretty much ready to go. Once I get these fuel rails, those aeromotives, then just go right on, bolt down into place, and the engine will pretty much be done. So, still making lots of progress. I still have to tighten that up because it's still loose. But that won't be nothing. And then, yeah, I wanted to make some more progress on this so I could get these on the 06, but that just does not line up at all. So I just kind of put that on hold. The downpipe's sitting right there. So that's all just sitting on hold right now. But no worries, no big deal. So I guess now I'm going to, I guess I don't really need the welder, so it can come back in here because I'm not going to be welding any of this up. And I'm pretty much done with the engine. I did get the new engine and transmission mounts I ordered in today, so I'll be able to throw those on. It also came with the dog bones, but since I have the ZZP dog bones, you can't see them up there. But I've got the regular dog bones with the ZZP bushings in them. So since I already have those, I'm not going to use the new ones because they're just some eBay ones. My main goal was the engine and transmission mount. I want a new, but overall it's coming along pretty good. So I'll stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated. Alright y'all, so got the 07's engine back in here. Just picking everything up. Trying to organize stuff as I go. But I made a little bit of progress today, not much. Pretty much just getting the belts on. But I'm happy with it. I still got a lot more to go on this. I need to just stop fucking with everything else and concentrate on this or the Grand Am. There's just so much shit going on all the time. It's hard to focus all my time and shit onto just one. So, really, I need to get over there and do some work on the Grand Am. It's pretty much, I don't know, I just got to pull that engine apart and get the engine out to 97. It's complicated. I need to get this one done so then I can focus on the 97. But it is what it is. I'm probably just going to finish picking the rest of my stuff up, put the welder up, and just pick some shit up and probably call it a day. So, yeah, y'all stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated probably tomorrow after I get off work. So, y'all have a good night and stay tuned. Alright, you guys. So, I made it over here to the Grand Am storage. I just went ahead and threw these two belts back on. I don't have the power steering pump on here because I stole it for the Grand 97 Grand Prix. So, didn't get a whole lot done. I did order those new injector clips. They're going to go on this engine. And I only ordered them because they were supposed to be like this gold zinc color. But then they came as like chrome. So, I'm going to end up using them on this engine just because the Aeromotives don't use a clip. They just go into the rail. So, yeah, I'm going to end up using those on this engine once I tear this all apart and it goes onto the engine that's in the 97. But I'm pretty much just going to be swapping the blower and the lower intake manifold and probably the fuel rail and a few other little things onto that block, the headers. But I mean, 90% of that engine is staying. It's just going to be the blower and the lower intake manifold that's got to come off. And I can put this blower and lower intake manifold on. And I know these heads are good, but I still don't know if the valves are sealing all the way or not. I mean, it seems like this engine has really good compression. So, I'm pretty sure it is. I just don't want to chance it. I've never heard this engine run. I know that engine's good. And once I get this all together, I don't want to have to pull it apart again. Unless it's like doing a clutch or something, which really I don't even want to have to do that. I just want to put it together and it work and just drive it for a while. So, I know I need to get over here and do some more shit. I still need to go finish pulling the subframe off the parts car, which I've got that bolt that's back there in that corner, like right there. It goes through the subframe, through the lower control arm, and up into the car, and it just rusted and snapped off. And now I've got no way to drop the subframe back there. So I've been trying to cut it with Sawzall and shit. And there's no power back there where the parts car is, so I can't run my grinder or nothing. I just got to use a Sawzall, and I ran out of blades. So it's kind of been a hold up on that. I'm thinking about if I can get a battery powered grinder or something. I can just go back there and just cut that bracket off that I need for this end mount over here, for that mount there to sit in. And it'll be over here on the driver's side, on the side of the subframe, and that'll hold the trans up. And I've still got to tap those other threads for the rear mount and figure out something for the front mount. But it's alright, it's getting there. I've still got a long ways to go on this one too. And I apologize, you guys. I know I haven't made it over here too much working on this thing. I've been putting all my attention to the 07 Pre, and I apologize, guys, for anyone that's really watching for this build. It's just, man, I just don't have enough time. But I did make it up to 101 subscribers yesterday or the day before. So thanks everybody who's been subscribing and who's commenting and who's watching and leaving likes. I really appreciate it, you guys. I'm really trying to get to 250 and higher, but I mean, I really would like to get to 250 so I could start making money off of this, and that would help out a lot with the builds and help me get better parts instead of, you know, like these eBay headers. Like, they worked for a while. They were good budget build stuff, but man, the ZZP Power Log just look way better, and I have way less issues with them, and you can, I mean, they're just like, they just fit way better than these. Don't get me wrong, I like these. These do work, somewhat. I mean, they do work, but I really dig the ZZP stuff better, and I know there's like some OBX headers, which is similar to these, but really not. They like bolt together here and bolt together here, and it's a little bit better setup, a little way better quality, and yeah, so, but I mean, if I can get some more subscribers and start making money off the videos, I think that would help out a lot with me being able to afford to actually do this stuff, and then maybe I can actually get a little bit bigger workspace so I can actually get in here and get in the car while the car is in here packed, you know, with everything packed in here. And it's very difficult. And every day whenever I come over here, I gotta pull everything out just to work on the car, and then put everything back. And it's tiring. It takes a lot out of you. But whenever you want to do something, it's what you do. You just gotta work at it, and work at it, and work at it. But yeah, I think it's gonna be it for today, you guys. So I'm gonna head over to the house after I get all this locked up, and go kick it at the house with my girl and my daughter for a little bit. So I've had the last few days off because of all the snow and everything. So we've been spending a lot of time together. And then I had issues with the 97 not starting this morning, and I had to drive the 06 to work, and it was misfiring horrible, and then it died on me, and it just wasn't a very good day. So I just took the day off and slept till like 3:30, and then finally got up and came over here at like 5 after I got around. So yeah, I could have got a lot more done today. It was a nice day too, but yeah, so y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated. Hey YouTube. Alright, so today is Thursday, February 10th. So I got off work, came over here to my storage, and since I did have another starter over here, I went ahead and I pulled the brand new one back off and put the old one that was over here. I guess it came off the 07. I thought I already took this one and put it on here, but I guess I didn't, because it was still in there. So I've got this back on, took the brand new one off, and then I just came and put the brand new one on the 07 engine. So now it's got a brand new starter to go with everything else. And so yeah, so now I've just got to hook the battery back up on this, and then I'm going to make sure this starter. Okay. Well, I got to figure out what's going on there. But okay, so yeah, starter works. So I guess I'm going to go back down here and figure out why that's doing that. So y'all stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated. Okay guys, so I figured it out. So what was going on was, so these two wires here come from the battery, and they both go on that top prong right there. And so this little side piece goes in this plastic. I don't know if you can see it right there. That little copper piece sticking off was touching the nut on the back side for the starter solenoid. So it was, as soon as I connected the battery, it was giving the starter solenoid power. So loosened both of those, got that turned and put in its slot how it's supposed to be, and got everything tightened back down. And now the battery is hooked back up. And now whenever I come into the car, I can just, starter works. Flip this on, power. Nice. So that's that. Starter works. So that's the only reason I was even working on this, was because I wanted to pull that new starter back off for the engine. So yeah, pretty much it was this top one here, that prong was supposed to stick in the slot, and it was facing this way, and it was touching the back side of the nut right there. So no worries, got it fixed now. Car starts. So now I just got to get it off of jack stands, and the car's done. So at least for now. Like, I do still want to end up swapping the alternator bracket and all that, but I'm not doing that today. What I want to do today, now that I've got the starter, the brand new starter off the 97 and the other one put back on, now that's done. So now once I get all that done, what I want to focus on is pulling this transmission, or maybe even just dropping the whole subframe. And because it's pretty easy, it's just a strut up there, the strut up here, 4 subframe bolts, the steering linkage behind that boot, and that's pretty much it. Like, everything's already disconnected, so like it's literally just some struts and subframe bolts and that one steering linkage, and then this whole subframe's out. And then once I have the subframe out, then I can worry about, you know, swapping out the rack and pinion, getting the transmission off. I need to take the lower control arms and stuff off, or at least get the axles disconnected, because I want to power wash everything. And I mean, these axles are only like a year old, so I might reuse them. I might try to just clean them up and reuse them, but at the same time, I also might just buy brand new ones. Since everything else is going to be new, why not have brand new axles too? So I know I need to get the subframe out so I can wash it, because that shit just is disgusting. This whole engine bay is disgusting. And then also, so I talked to a guy about painting the hood and the new front bumper that I have back here, and he wants $500 to paint the hood and the front bumper, or $200 just to paint the front bumper. And he said like $2,200 or $2,400 to paint the whole car, and just completely sand everything down and just redo the whole car. Which the paint on the whole car isn't horrible. I mean, there are like this little ding here under the door, and there's another one right here in the quarter. So I mean, it definitely has some dings. This is pushed in, so this needs brought back out to be even and flush with the light. So I mean, it definitely has some little things about it that's not great, but I mean, it's really not that bad. I mean, the car itself is pretty straight. It looks good in the sunlight. I mean, the paint pretty much is good. It's just on the hood and the front bumper, and that's because neither one of these came on this car. And then also this front bumper is pretty trash. It's got all the clear coat peeling here. Previous owner was a female, and she hit somebody and just fucked up this whole corner. I've replaced the fog lights, which I'm probably just going to buy brand new ones again. But I mean, there's marks all over this thing, and cracked paint, peeling clear coat. So I mean, this front bumper is going to come off and get replaced. That's the whole reason why I got this one. And I just don't want to put it on without it being painted. I hate that. I hate people having all one color car with a white fender and a black hood and a green bumper. Like, it just looks like shit. Like, if you're going to put it on your car, paint the motherfucker. So I'm not going to put it on until it's painted. So whether it takes a couple months or 6 months or a year, I don't know. Like, I've still got a lot of stuff to do to get this thing road worthy or road ready, and I'm ready to drive this thing again. So but yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm going to focus on. I just got to get the 97 off of jack stands and pick up those tools, and it's pretty much done and just waiting for me to use the tools for this. So I'm going to stop rambling on. I'm going to go ahead and get the 97 off of jack stands and probably turn it around and go park it over there next to the trash can. And then that way I have a little more room out here. And I'm going to get to work on this thing. So y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright, y'all. So while I was under there, my radiator fans before were rubbing up against the radiator because whenever I bought the car and I was changing the wheels, it was in the grass, and my jack slipped off of here and it pushed this whole radiator support up. That's why this is all bent at a weird angle right there, because all this has been pushed up right here. So since I had this off, I was able, well, I didn't even know that, but I ended up using these two holes, this hole and this hole, and use my pry bar, and it kind of pulled it back out some, and now the fans aren't rubbing. So I plugged my fans back in, so now at least my radiator fans will work, so that's good. So now this thing's all back together, it starts. Now the radiator fans should work, because they were working before, they were just rubbing. So I unplugged them so they wouldn't be rubbing the radiator. But shit, I'm pretty happy with it. So now I'm gonna get this thing off jack stands so I can start working on the 07, dropping that subframe. So y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright y'all, so she's off jack stand, she's running, and my fans are working. They're not rubbing the radiator. There's not the greatest amount of room in there. As you can tell, but it's alright. She's running, radiator fans are working, which is first time since I got it. I mean, they work, but I've had them unplugged because they were rubbing the radiator. So I've just been driving around this whole time with no radiator fans. It's cool, they're working now, which is a good thing since my coolant temp gauge doesn't work because I don't have it plugged in. But I'm really digging this push start button. It works so good, just on. It only took me like, I don't know, I'd say 2 or 2.5 hours to install it, just because I had to figure out what all these wires were from the actual ignition switch. And this was a ground, and I ended up not even having to use it. So that was for this one, I do believe. But yeah, that was my ground, so I'm happy with it. I like it. That never gets old. So, but it's coming along very good. Very, very well. Everything's looking nice in there. I checked the oil in the 06 Pre yesterday or the day before, and it's all milky in there. So, I don't know, maybe it's because that head bolts broke off on that rear head on the 06. Maybe that's why it's leaking and not running right. Probably getting coolant in the cylinder, so that's probably why that cylinder is misfiring. But it is what it is. I'll end up getting another engine for it. So I'm waiting on taxes to come in right now. So whenever taxes come in, I'm definitely getting another engine. It's $300. So, and I think I have another junk engine laying around somewhere. So no big deal. But so yeah, y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated. Hey guys, so the 97's done. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to install the downpipe, ZZP downpipe up here, so I get the flange ran up. I know it's not much, but I want to get something done. I have a lot of shit over there, and I have to pull that transmission and all that shit over there out to get the wheel off to really be able to drop the subframe. And I've got like, you know, an hour of daylight left, so I decided not to drop the subframe right now, but I still want to get some stuff done. So I'm gonna get this this other downpipe up here. I don't have a gasket for this flange yet. I only have the front gasket going onto the rear manifold, a brand new one. I might have a used one back here, but I don't think it's even the same flange. So so I doubt it's going to work. And I don't have any other gaskets for it. Let's see, I have a donut gasket. I'm not seeing any other. That's tools. Yeah, I'm not seeing any other gaskets. Exhaust gaskets. I just went through all that. There's not any on there either. So, I guess I'll have to order me up a couple of gaskets. No big deal. I think I used the 3-inch ones before. Yeah, I still got to get the front bumper off so I can get that front mount heat exchanger on, and so I can at least test fit the new bumper and make sure it fits. So it's still got quite a ways to go, but I'm going to go ahead and get this downpipe at least test fitted and make sure that the bolts screw all the way down and everything, and make sure that O2 sensor is not going to be a problem. I don't think it will be, because the bolt only goes like to here. So hopefully I don't have to mess with that O2 sensor, because I couldn't get it to come out, and it's a good O2 sensor. So I'm just going to rock it. There's my brand new O2 extension harness. So that'll run up the side of the car and plug into that factory plug, which I'm not going to plug it in because this harness is coming out and I'm using the harness that's on the engine. So I'm just want to get this bolted up, kind of set in place, and yeah, so it should take like 5 minutes. So y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated. Guys, so as you can see, I've got the downpipe installed. Like I said, it still doesn't have the gasket on it, but it fits nice. Yeah, that bolt, that nut that goes on, it doesn't even come close to the O2 sensor like it did on the eBay ones. You can see how much room it has. I mean, that is cut down a little bit, but not very much. So yeah, the only thing is I just can't put the impact on it like I did on this side, because there's nothing on this side sticking out. So if I could get that O2 sensor out, then I could just impact it on. But like I said, there's still no gasket yet, so I'm just going to hold off. I got the one side tightened down, you know, just to kind of hold it in place. And I got my new little O-ring hanger things on it, just to hold it up. Brand new gasket, so I'm at least making progress. So now, the next thing I will do, hopefully this weekend, is I'm going to come drop this subframe, and I'm just going to have to move this engine out of the way, and the transmission, and like all this stuff, the tools, everything's got to come out. Power washer might be okay, but I know I'm definitely going to have to. What I've done previously in the past is I hook my cherry picker up in here somewhere, or like to here, or on this lip here, and I'll use the hook on the cherry picker to lift the front end of the car up, and just like leave the subframe sitting on 4 jack stands to hold it, and then lift the car up. And I don't know, maybe not even jack stands, maybe just like some wood blocks or something. But it's alright, it'll get there. I'll make progress. And so you gotta pull the front bumper. I'm gonna have to remove all this plastic bullshit. And then there's like 1 or 2 bolts right here. And I think there's another one up here. And then all these going throughout here, all across. And then there's some going all across the bottom. So, I mean, it's still kind of a lot of bullshit, even just to pull the front bumper, but it's got to be done. Well, here's my new KYB struts. Already got a rip in the boot. Dang. KYB strut plus. It's alright, still got brand new tires, haven't even been driven on yet. On all 4. These 2 back here just been sitting on the ground. Man, I miss driving this car. This car sounded good with the exhaust. It'll get there though, it'll get there. And when it does, it's going to be so fucking badass. And I don't know, I might end up even going to the salvage yard and buying those GXP fenders that I took the fender vents out of wherever they went. Yeah, I took those fender vents and they go like right in here. So I might even just buy those fenders since I'm going to end up having stuff painted. I can just have the fenders painted too. Or, I don't know, I even might try to paint it myself. I doubt everything's going to match. And like this mirror needs work, like the glass works. All that works, it's just, it was taped up for whatever reason, because the glass is fine. But, yeah, for whatever reason, someone taped it up, and now it looks like shit. But I had to put it on there, so, I don't know. I'm really happy with the progress on this thing, though. I still, like I said, I've still got a long ways to go before this is even close to being considered done. I really want to get the ZZP radiator, but they're just fucking sold out. They won't fucking, I don't know, like I emailed them, and zzperformance.com says they don't have them, and it's going to be a while before they get them in stock. But then they have them for sale on eBay for $1,250. And so I message them on eBay because it's still ZZ Performance. It's just their eBay sales page. And it's like seems like they charge more for everything on eBay than they do on zzperformance.com. And on zzperformance.com, it's like $329 for the radiator, and they're selling them for $1,200. And it's saying that people are buying them. Like, they sold 50 something of them at $1,200. And then the guy's telling me, no, we just put that price so that people won't buy it. But it's saying that 50 something have sold, and there's only so many left. And I don't know, I'm just kind of getting frustrated with DZP because I bought so much shit from them, and then they're just going to bullshit about a radiator. Like, come on. It's just be straight up, right? You know, they can just be like, hey, we're not making them no more, sorry. And I'll be like, alright, cool. You know, I have to run this, or I can have a one-off one custom made based off of this, but that's expensive. That's $500, $600, $800 for a radiator, and I just don't have money like that. But I guess I'm gonna quit rambling on, and I'm gonna try to figure out something else I can get done while I'm over here before I go home. And I just don't know what yet, so y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright, so what I'm doing is I have this good engine, and it's just a stock like factory L67 with a 3/4 pulley on it and these MSD coils. So I'm gonna end up pulling this engine out of my 97 GTP, and then I gotta go to my other storage round over here. Okay, give me a sec. Okay, so this is, if I can get my light to where, there we go. So this is my Grand Dam over here. Alright, so this is the engine. So it's got some eBay headers. Right now it just has a factory L32 cam, but this is my NIC cam, which originally I was told was the XPZ, but it turns out it was the NIC. And I've got all the ZZP 7050 push rods. And then, yeah, those are all 7050s. And yeah, so that's pretty much what I've got here. But yeah, so all this cam and push rods is going to go into that engine that's in the 97, along with one of those two double rollers and the head studs. And then these are L32 heads that I know are good. Right now they just have factory valve springs and retainers and all that in there. So I'm going to have to get better valve, you know, like 130s or 140s or something like that, valve springs for the NIC cam. It's got a Gen 5 blower with the North Star throttle body, and it's got the 3/4 pulley on it right now. But I also have the 3.0, which I had on my '07 Pre, which is over in the other storage. And then I've got the LQ4 MAF and all that shit with a K&N filter. And then this is my Bahnhof clutch kit with a, I don't even remember what the flywheel is. I know it's a flywheel off eBay. It was like 80 bucks. Or, yeah, 87 bucks, something like that. Nothing major. But I mean, yeah, this is my setup. I had these headers on the '07 Pre originally, and now I went all out on the new build with an actual XPZ cam and the right push rods and everything. I reused the double roller I had in the original engine. I need to get some LS7 lifters for this. Like, this thing's still going to need a lot. And so this engine I got with a bunch of ZZ Performance parts, and I built it, and it didn't have compression. This is the block I had in the car originally, and it didn't have compression, so I pulled it back out, bought brand new pistons and rings, bought some cylinder hones and honed the cylinders, and put it all together. And I mean, when I turn it over, it seems like it has good compression, but I've never done it before, and I just don't want to chance, because it's such a tight fit, and the only way to get this shit in here is to drop the subframe, and it's just a bunch of bullshit, and I just don't want to have to deal with it. So, yeah, you know. So I want this thing, when it goes in here, I want to know 100% that it's good to go. So that's why I'm just going to pull this back apart. I'm going to reuse the blower, the lower intake manifold, and this fuel rail with these lines. And I don't know if I'm going to use these heads or the heads that are on the engine, because I know the heads on the engine are good. It's definitely going to get completely tore down and all new gaskets everywhere and get completely refreshed. But, you know, for now, like, I don't know which set of heads I'm going to use. These are the factory L32 injectors, which is probably what I'm going to end up using, because these are the factory Grand Am 3.4 liter injectors, and these are like 22 pound per hour, and these are like 32 or 34 or 33 or something like that pound per hour. So these are like way better than these. And also the set that's on the 97 now, they're also these, but they have this same plug, the EV2. These are the like EV6 or whatever, because they're off the L32 and not off the L67. So yeah, it's very complicated. Like, I mean, I'm sure the engine would probably run if I just put it in. I just don't want to chance it, so yeah. But yeah, this is the current project, and this is what the double roller and the head studs are going to go into, well, onto that engine, but it's going to end up going into this. And then I have the 5-speed, I have the axles, I've got my shifter, the whole shifter assembly, the clutch pedal, that's the AC line off of a 4-cylinder, because it bolts right up to the AC compressor on the 3.8 on the L67 3.8 to this little flange here. So there's a lot of different parts off different GM cars that you got to get to make this swap work. It's definitely a pain in the ass. And like I said, I've been doing this project for 2 years, and it's been a lot. But yeah, this is what the parts are going in. Hey YouTube. Alright, so I'm at the house now. My mom called, and she had fallen on the floor and couldn't get up, so I had to rush and pick everything up and hurry home so I could help her get up out of the floor. So now I'm at the house. It's like 9 at night or so, and so I had grabbed the brand new dog bone mounts, because I'm not going to use those for the '07 or for the Grand Am, because they won't fit on the Grand Am. So I took this one off. It's a 15 millimeter right there, 15 millimeter here. So I use a 15 millimeter socket, 15 millimeter wrench, and worked great. And then these are 13s, There's 4 of them, and then you have to use a magnet to push the 2 out right here, because they like to fall down in there and you can't really get them with the fingers, so you got to use a magnet. And yeah, so I got the old ones off. Well, I'm doing one at a time. And yeah, so then you just take the new one and slide the new one back on there, and it'll line up just like so. And really simple, really easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this all put back together, and then I'll give you guys another update. Alright, so now I got this slid back on here, got my 4 bolts back in there, tightened down. Again, those are all 13 millimeters. So next I've just got to grab one of the dog bones. This slides over that slides in there. And I gotta take my bolt, and it goes through from this side that way. You have to turn your oil thing so you can get your socket on it. Yeah, boom, just like that. And then you can take, I want to tighten it up. Damn, gunshots. Oh, a couple more. Yeah, so now I've just got to take that nut and bolt off of that one, and it'll go right through there. And you'll have to grab the engine and pull it towards you a little bit to get it to line up all the way. And then you can get your bolt in there, and boom, that one's done. Then it's off to the next one. But yeah, these are super simple, super easy, no big deal at all. So I'm gonna get this all together, and then I'll give you guys another update before I start pulling that one apart. Alright, you guys, this one's on here. It's nice and tight. I had to pull it back really fucking hard to get that to go in there and line up. But it's on there, it's nice and tight. A lot of people do like to try to roll these so the connected parts are forward and back to still help it keep from going back and forth. But like I said, I just ordered the set because it was cheaper to order the 6-piece set than just the engine and transmission mounts by like $15. So I just got this one, and it came with the dog bones included for like $12 cheaper. So I was like, why not get more stuff for less money? So yeah, so this was just a bonus, and I just throw it on here just to help out with this one shaking so much, because that transmission mount down there is junk. This engine mount down here is junk. I need to swap those around, but I'm just, yeah, holding off because this is going to come out for the Grand Dam anyways. But alright, so I've got that one on. Now I'm going to get to pulling this other one apart, and I'll give you guys another update. Alright, so 2 bolts. I've already got the other dog bone off. Super easy. So now I just got to get these 4 13 mils out. So I just got to pull my 15 mil socket off. Grab my 13 mil. One, 2, 3. See, like I said, they like to fall in there. Yes. Going fishing for bolts. I think I dropped one down there. Alright. Well, I've got 3 of them. See, these don't look horrible, but for some free brand new ones, and it saved me $12 from buying what I was gonna buy. The only thing I really don't like about the ones I got is that engine mount is like oil filled. Oh, damn, that's kind of a pain. So I believe I lost one of the ones that go up here. That sucks. I don't know where it went. Oh, I see it down there. See if I can get it. It's in here. Oh, I stopped working. My phone's dying. Alright. Well, I guess I'm just going to get these bolts back in here and get this put back together because my phone's dying. So, y'all stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated. Alright, you guys. So, I've got both the mounts all swapped out. So, they're all brand new. This thing doesn't budge at all. Like, I'm just moving the whole car. That thing ain't moving at all. So, that's good. At least it helps straighten it up some. I mean, I'm sure these are somewhat cheap. I mean, but can't complain. For getting brand new engine and transmission mounts for the 07 and got some brand new dog bones for the 97. So, it works. It'll do me good for now. So, it's probably going to be it for tonight, y'all. Like I said, my phone's dying, so I'll give you guys another update tomorrow, probably after I get off work. It's supposed to be nice again tomorrow, like 65, 67, so hopefully tomorrow's a good day as well, and I can get some more stuff done on the 07 or the Grand Am. I don't know, we'll see. So y'all stay tuned and keep you guys updated. Y'all have a good night. Hey YouTube, so it's Friday. It's like just after 5 o'clock. Just got off work, made it over here to the storage. I'm at the Parts Grand Am. So today, I got me some more Sawzall blades. So I want to try to finish cutting through that snapped bolt so I can get the subframe off. So I'm about to grab the Sawzall out of her and a couple batteries. And then I'll get to cutting this thing. So y'all stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated here in just a few. Alright, y'all, so as you can see where I've been cutting up here, I'm almost all the way through it, just I ran out of blades. So I just started using this long one and it started working, but it's only like the tip of it's hitting back here on this back side while I'm trying to cut. So I switched to a short one, and hopefully that one works. That's the only short one I got. But if not, I got these 4 brand new long Craftsman blades. So I'm going to try to use the short one and get that short one to finish cutting through. Hopefully I can get it. And yeah, so I'm just got to get this one bolt out and then I can drop this subframe out. So y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright guys, well I finally got the fucking piece off. You see where that bolt snapped off in there. And now I've got that cut through, got this off, but the bolt's still in there. And it's still on, it's not separated. So now I gotta use the Sawzall and I gotta cut above the subframe to get the subframe out. But it's okay, it's coming along, so not a big deal. So I'm gonna keep working at it and try to get this bolt cut through. And I'll give you guys another update, so y'all stay tuned. Alright guys, that didn't take long at all. Started cutting through it and bam, popped off. Didn't even cut all the way through it, it's still sticking out. But I got it off, that's all that matters. So now I can undo these 2 bolts and the whole subframe should drop out. So I'm gonna grab some sockets and the impact and get this subframe out. Alright you guys, subframe's out. This is the only part I need off this whole subframe is this fucking transmission mount bracket. But if I clean this all up or repaint it, it'll look just as good as the one that's on the car now, hopefully. And I'll probably save the one that's on the car, and because I'm just gonna junk this thing. It's so fucking rusted out. Really, the only good thing on this is maybe the hood, this headlight, these 2 doors, and the back glass, and maybe the trunk. Like, there's not a whole lot of good panels left on this car. Gas cap, door. The wheels are all dry rotted. Like, all the tires are dry rotted. So the tires aren't no good. And the steering column and the airbag's good. Like, there's a couple things left in this thing that's still good, but not very much. I need this for the new Sawzall blades. Yeah, there's not very much good left on this thing. But if anybody needs any parts and you're close to Tulsa, Oklahoma, holler at me. Or if it's something small like the headlight or the grills or a window, something like that, I can ship that. Blinker switch, headlight, fog light switch. I do have brake calipers and rotors, and I've got the fuel tank here. I think I have it posted for like 75. I'll go down to 50. Whole tank with the pump. Car was running, just no title and rusted out. So, or maybe even the trunk. If you need the trunk lid, I'll probably work something out with you. As long as y'all pay the shipping, I'm not tripping on it. So yeah, subframe's out, so I'm about to, I guess, throw this on the trunk of the 97 so I can run it down to the Grand Am storage. And yeah, so y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated. You guys, I got her loaded up, so I'm gonna head back here to the Grand Am storage and go put this thing inside the storage. So catch you guys in a minute. Alright y'all, just got back from the salvage yard today. Went out to Danny's U-Pull and found a bunch of goodies. So not this stuff. This is what I'm working on for the 06. I bought this turn down and this 18-inch piece and this adapter at AutoZone. It was like 21 and some change. And I already had this one and this piece of stainless. So I just kind of welded that up. I did that last night off camera. But so everything else, all this, I got out there for $85.27 total. But yeah, so I got this all new dash bezel, got a new gauge cluster, center console with the cup holder on it that works, and then this goes on the headliner, and it's got this little cubby that pulls down for like a radar detector. And then sunglass holders, 2 of them. But I thought that was pretty cool. Got another set of GXP fender vents. So now I have 2 sets. This is the little cubby for right here. Got some exhaust hanger, rubber O-rings. And then I got these pieces for the trunk because I don't have them in the 97 at all. And then I got this resonator off of like a Monte Carlo or an Impala or something. And I'm going to end up probably using this for the Grand Am with that downpipe once I get it all welded up. And then I'm going to try to use this resonator. This one came off of a Bonneville SSEI, and it's got the O2. And so I'm going to try to use this with that piece to go on the 06, so it'll still have the O2, since right now it's just 3-inch pipe all the way back. So now I have to find a 2.5-inch to 3-inch adapter so I can put the 3-inch to 2.5-inch, and then probably have to, once I'm just going to cut the factory resonator completely off of the car back here, and then I'm going to have to cut off those 2 hanger brackets and weld those on to the new exhaust so I can still put it on hangers. And then I have this other adapter here, which this will go on this side like that, and then it'll go inside of the pipe that's on the car. So I'm just lacking one adapter to be able to put all that together and weld it up and weld it on the car and then the exhaust will be fully connected with no cat, but it'll be fully connected with both O2s and everything will be good. So then the car won't be stupid fucking loud, which is good. And then I got some stuff for the 97, so now what I'm gonna have to do is Dremel this piece out about to here, and then I'm gonna take my push start thing and I'm just gonna screw it in out here. Or I don't know, I might even, I don't know, I might just leave the red one in there for now and just, I don't know. Because eventually I'm going to try to fix this car up a little bit, but for now it's just my shit box, so I don't know. But I'm definitely going to swap out the center console, so I'll have cup holders now, because that's something I have not had the whole time. There's no cup holders, and it fucking sucks. I just have a hole right there, and it sucks. And then the one that's in my car, this piece, it doesn't have this little cubby on it, but mine's all hanging down and falling, so I'll probably end up swapping that one out just to make it look a little bit nicer. And yeah, so lots of goodies for 85 bucks. And then yeah, I got this piece because mine is just completely gone. And then I also got this. It's like a rubber mat with it's just a topper. So once you put the donut and set that on, this goes on the top of everything. And it's just like to keep the trunk carpet looking nice, which this trunk carpet's already pretty dirty and fucked. But it's alright. But yeah, so I had a good score today out at the salvage yard. So yeah, if any of y'all are around Tulsa, Oklahoma, and y'all need a good place to go look for parts, hit up Danny's Auto Salvage, Danny's U-Pull, 9101 East 46th Street North, Tulsa. They got some great deals out there, and they got a shit ton of W bodies and lots of good parts. There's that Bonneville SSCI still has a supercharger on it. One of the Grand Prix GTPs out there still has a supercharger on it.
Oh, we found another Cobalt 5-speed too.
Yeah, no, it was a Chevy Cavalier, with the 2.2 liter Ecotech, but it has a 5-speed. So if anybody's wanting to do like the Grand Am 5-speed swap or an Alero 5-speed swap, you can use that 5-speed shifter and the shifter cables and the mounts,
pedals,
the clutch pedal. Like there's a lot of good parts you would be able to use for a Grand Am or an Alero or Malibu 5-speed swap, and the transmission won't work. I mean, unless you have a 2.2 Ecotech in your shit, then it would work. But yeah, then you could take the subframe and everything if you already have an Ecotech. But if you got a 3.1 or a 3.4 or the 3.8 V6 engines, then yeah, the trans wouldn't work to go 5-speed. You'd have to get the specific one out of the Cavalier 2000 to 02 with the 2200 SFI, not the 2.2 Ecotech. So there is a difference in those bell housings. Same trans, just different bell housing. But yeah, there's lots of good parts out there. So if anyone's looking, go hit them up. It's $2 to get in the gate. They got great deals on everything. So, but yeah, just want to give you guys an update on the score today. So now I'm going to end up, I still got to go try to find an adapter so I can get this exhaust together. But that's going to be one of my goals for today, is to try to get the exhaust together and weld it up and on the 06. So y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright y'all, so I'm in the 97. So what I ended up doing was I had these screwed in back inside of there. And so I unscrewed them from the inner dash and just screwed them into this outer piece. It's not perfectly straight. And I mean, I don't really like it like that, but I like it better than it being way back in there. Everything still works. So that's good. So yeah, I haven't swapped this piece yet. Really, the car that was out there had a really nice dash. It wasn't cracked up at all or nothing. But it didn't have heads-up display. And that's, yeah, I don't know how that would work. But other than that, it was super nice. But yeah, so I haven't swapped this piece yet. I still don't know when I'm going to change it, or if I'm even going to change it. I might eventually, but I don't know. No big deal. But yeah, I've got that done, so I'm gonna keep working on this exhaust for the 06. I also got that piece put in, and the new trunk carpet. Well, the trunk carpet cover, I should say. So now I just got to finish loading all my tools back in here and getting everything picked up. And I'm probably going to swap out that center console piece so I have my cup holders, because that will be super nice. And probably not going to swap the gauges right now, or that other piece. I don't know if I'm going to mess with this piece today or not. Really, I just want to get the exhaust done, but I still have to just get a couple more adapter pieces, and then the exhaust will be ready to go on and get welded. So, but yeah, I'm going to get to work on getting everything else picked up and put back up, and then I'm going to get back to work on this exhaust. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright, you guys, so I've been working on the exhaust. I've got the factory resonator cut off. You can see it had that U-bend, like, ovaled. Freaking weird. And yeah, as you can see, like, it was gonna have to be replaced anyways. This shit's junk. So I got it chopped off. And so the cool thing is, okay, so whenever I butt up this resonator to the rest of the exhaust from the mufflers, like from right where I cut off that resonator, it's the exact same size piping. I think this is 2 1/4. And so I had this made like months ago, and so it slides onto this, but this piece won't slide inside of the pipe. It's like the same outer diameter as this pipe, and it's the exact same size as the rest of the exhaust on the car down there. So this won't go in inside the pipe like I wanted it to. So I'm gonna have to go to AutoZone, and I'm gonna have to get this 2 1/4 to 2 1/4 inner diameter adapter, so it'll slide onto this side, and then the other side will also be the same, so it'll slide onto both sides, and I can just slide it on, weld it, slide the other side on that side, weld it all the way around, and then this resonator will be connected to the rest of the exhaust. Then once I do that, I still have to get my 2 1/2 to 3 inch adapter to go right here to fill up that space. And so then once I get that adapter, I can go ahead and I might be able to cut a little bit off this, but I want to weld on that adapter, get it to slide over this, weld it on, and then everything will be one piece. But before I do final welds, since this is all just straight round pieces, I'll bolt this on the car. I'll get that piece connected onto the rest of the exhaust underneath and get this set up. I also had to hacksaw off the old hangers off the old resonator, and then these are the two I got from the salvage yard today. So now I'll just have to have both of these hangers welded on, like in here somewhere, like that, something like that, so it can hold those up and hold all that up as one piece. And then, so pretty much this will be a 3 inch to 2 1/2 to 2 1/4 exhaust. But as long as it's quiet, that's all my mom, and it's all I really care about at the moment. So, but yeah, I'm going to end up having to make an AutoZone run, and maybe to O'Reilly's in advance. I might have to hit all the parts stores trying to find the adapters I need. But now I've got everything I need off the car, and I know that this pipe here is the same exact size as what's on the car now. So if I take this adapter, I should be able to just be like, hey, I need this, but both sides to be this. And yeah, guaranteed one of the stores is going to have it for like under $5. And as long as I can find the 3-inch to 2.5 inch, I'll be good. So that's how everything's going so far today. So I guess I'm going to pick all this stuff up and hit AutoZone, and I'll give you guys another update. So y'all stay tuned. Alright YouTube, so I just got back from AutoZone and O'Reilly's, and had to go to 2 different AutoZones and then to O'Reilly's. And so I went to the first AutoZone, which is one I went to last night, and I returned that 3-inch to 3-inch adapter. It's exactly the same as this other one that I already had. It was just a little bit shorter. So I went and returned it, and they had this one there, and it's the exact same. So this right here will go in here, and then it'll slide on the other side, and that'll connect this to the rear. And then the only thing that's, everything else is there. So then I had to go to another AutoZone. They didn't have this, and then I went to O'Reilly's, and they had 2 of these. And so I finally lucked out, and I was looking for one that went to the outside of this, but this one goes to the inside, which should help it. So either way, it is what it is. So now I've got to get that piece all the way down in there, set in place, so I can weld it up. And so I'm going to have to weld this onto there and weld this onto here. And then I'm going to have to clean this one up and weld this onto here and pull the whole rest of the mufflers and shit off and attach it on here. But before I do that, I've got to get this piece on and get the hangers welded on under here where they need to go. So I need to kind of get that on to the rest of the exhaust and line it up and see where the hangers need to sit, and then mark out, get the hangers welded on. And then once I do get all that rear stuff welded up, I can hang that back on, and then kind of bolt this in place and see how long I need this piece, to see if I need to cut it anywhere before I weld this piece on. But this piece, it should go all the way in there up to here. And because I lined this up with this while I was at the store, and I mean, it doesn't come close. It's still got 1.5 inches away from that O2 bung. So I got it in that far, just barely pushing it in there. So it should work good. So I'm gonna keep working on this thing and try to get this exhaust all done today. So y'all stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated. Alright YouTube, so I've got this coupler welded on all the way around, and I've got this one welded on to the resonator all the way around. And so now I've got to pull both the mufflers and the rest of this pipe off the car so I can get that end piece all cleaned up, so I can slide it in here and weld it on. And then I'll be able to slide, hang that back up how it is, and have all this extended up here. That way I know where I need to weld on the hangers. And then once I get that done, then I can bolt this up and try to, see exactly where I need to cut this off at. But overall, it's coming together pretty good. So being straight, that's pretty much exactly how it's gonna sit. And yeah, so I mean, it's coming along great, really. It's really awesome. It's turning out a lot better than I thought it was going to. So yep, now I've just got to get these mufflers and the rest of this exhaust off so I can get it connected to that. And then I'll test fit that, see where I need to cut that, cut it, bolt it on, slide this in there, try to slide it all together, make sure everything's gonna fit, and go from there. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys updated once I get this mufflers and the rest of this piping off the car. Alright guys, well that was super quick. It took a minute. It was literally just pulling those 4 rubber deals off, and it was off. That one doesn't connect because this is off the 97, and the 06 doesn't have a spot for that to go. or that one. But there we go. See, coupler goes right on. So now all I got to do is clean that up, weld that together, put this back in up to here. So then, oh, and then I also need to figure out where my hanger pieces have to get welded on, which those are still in here. And there's the new O-rings. So yeah, I just need to figure out where those need to go. So, hangers are right here. So yeah, the hangers really need to go like right in here, somewhere on this coupler area. So we'll see how that goes. But, I mean, so far this is coming along fantastic. I couldn't be happier. So, y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated. I've got to clean this up, weld that, and then test fit it, and I'll give you guys another update. So y'all stay tuned. Alright, YouTube, so I've got this coupler all welded on, all the way around, on both sides of it. So now this is all one piece. So now everything from here back is all welded. It's all one solid piece. The only thing that's left is the hangers, and I still have to figure out where they're gonna weld on. So next I've got to get this exhaust put back on the car, get the hangers on the mufflers hung back on those rubber hangers, so I can lift this up and try to figure out where these hangers need to go, so I can weld those on, so I can get the new little rubber O-rings on, so it can be hanging. And then once I get that done, then I can try to set this up there to the engine, figure out exactly, you know, where I need to cut this at to be able to slide it in there, and then I can weld that together once I get it cut and I know everything's gonna fit. And then I'll pull everything back out, completely weld the whole thing all the way around, and then I'll put the whole exhaust in as one piece. So y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated just as soon as I get this exhaust back on the car. Alright guys, so I have the exhaust back on up to here. I had it sitting on that little 3" to 3" adapter, but to hold it up. But so right where the weld is, right here, lines up perfectly even with the hangers up there for the O-rings to go on. So now I'm pulling this back off, since I have that lined up, and I know where that needs to go. And the end, I need to lift it back up so I can mark on the car where the very end of this is, and where it goes down to the smaller size, so I know how far that can extend in. And then I'll put the downpipe on, see where it lines up here, mark it, pull it off, cut that, and then I'll be able to stick it all together one piece, weld everything up, and put it all in as one piece. So I'm about to pull this back off so I can weld those hangers on. And then once I weld the hangers on, I'll be able to bolt up the downpipe and measure that, cut it, and then it'll be done. So let me get this marked and then pull this exhaust back off, and I'll give you guys another update. Alright you guys, so I've got the exhaust back off the car, flipped upside down, and I had my mark right here on this weld. So I used my vice grips and vice gripped it on, tacked it in place, vice gripped that one, tacked it in place, and then tried to weld them both together. And I mean, it's doing alright, because it just needs to hold the exhaust up, and I can, on either one of them, I can grab it, and it's holding good. So I think that's successful. So now all I got to do is bolt up the downpipe, and then that way I can kind of know where I need to cut it off to line up with this here, and then I can weld it all together and put it all in as one piece, and then she should be quieter. So y'all stay tuned, I keep you guys updated. Alright you guys, so I just got the mufflers hung back up, and I've got everything pieced together. That's not welded yet right there. I've got to bolt it back up to the engine with the gasket, and then that'll kind of sync those together, and I can hang the hangers on where they need to go. and it'll pretty much be in. Then I'm just gonna tack weld this in, and I'll probably weld the bottom, and then I'll undo the 2 bolts at the flange on the engine, and then let it drop down some, and then I'll weld the top side of it. But man, it's coming together. It's been a pretty successful day so far. So I'm gonna get this finished up, and I'll give you guys another update whenever I get this downpipe bolted up to the engine before I weld this. Alright you guys, so the exhaust is all on. It's still not welded at the flange, but the downpipe is bolted to the engine. Everything else is welded. Everything else is on and together. O2 sensors hooked up. So that's the only part of the exhaust that's not welded together. So I'm about to start it and see what this baby sounds like with no cat, but with mufflers and a resonator. Let's see how raspy it is. Alright, here we go. Wow! Well, it definitely still has a couple leaks. It actually doesn't sound too bad.
Can I rev it up a little?
Yeah, here, let me go back here. Not a bad little sound. Go over here. So it definitely still has some leaks. Like I said, I know the welds aren't perfect. It's definitely probably still leaking from right there, but you know what? It's a hell of a lot quieter than what it was before. And everything total was probably 40 bucks. Everything that I used was probably 40 bucks at the salvage yard and AutoZone. So I'm gonna call that a successful couple days. It's definitely still misfiring, so it still needs an engine, but it runs. It's not super fucking loud, so I'm happy with it. Just crazy to see fucking exhaust coming out of the fucking the tips, man. Hey, I'm excited. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, she's a little smoky. Got that misfire. But it's not loud. So, alright, well, that's the exhaust build update for now. And eventually, I don't know, I might change this stuff around, but for now, it is what it is. It works. I'm happy with it. So, y'all stay tuned and keep you guys updated. Alright, you guys. So, she's off jack stands. Everything's picked up. I moved the 97 forward. So I'm about to move this thing back over next door. I might drive it around the block just for the video, but what was I gonna say? $202,000 even. out of gas. Well, that's pretty much it. At least it's quiet. Really all I cared about was that it's quiet. There we go. Smoking. We'll hold that for a sec. Yeah. Not too bad, not too bad. At least it's quiet. It's still misfiring like a motherfucker, but not anything I can do about that right now. But at least it runs and drives and it's quiet. That's the main thing. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. I'll catch you guys probably the next few days over at the storage. I'm going to be working on the 07, and I'm going to try to get some stuff done on the Grand Dam. So yeah, y'all stay tuned for the next one, and leave me a like, a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you can get updates on the new videos. So y'all have a good night, and I'll catch you next time.